Yeah, yeah, I'm sorry I'm late. But I'm telling y'all that I mean 1 or 1:30 between that. I tried my best. Y'all won't be able to call in today on the damn Urban Therapy with Sun show because Blog Talk is acting stupid. And I can't give y'all my personal number. That would be crazy. But today, we're going to talk about taking unfair advantage of authority or taking unfair advantage of a position. What we're talking about is taking unfair advantage of a position, like at a job or in politics, or in some type of situation where there's a ranking system and people are abusing power. And that's really what we're talking about. Abusing power. And we all know somebody or somebodies or a bunch of people who have gotten themselves a little position. They have a little bit of power in some kind of area and they have gone rogue with it. They're going crazy with it. You would think that they just became crowned king of the world, queen of the Nile or something like that. And it's hard dealing with a person. It's hard dealing with people who abuse authority. Now, the reason that I didn't name the show Abuse of Authority is because, first of all, YouTube doesn't like the word abuse. As a matter of fact, maybe I shouldn't say it too many times in succession, but they don't like abuse. They don't like the word. And it's kind of crazy. If they won't even let you say words like dead, kill, things like that, I gotta say delete. It's just stupid. Like, these are real words. But when it comes to the monetization of a channel and what the advertisers will pay for, everybody has to watch their step. I don't watch mine as much as everybody else does, and y'all know my position on censorship. I'm not with all of that. But here we are, and we're talking about taking unfair advantage of a position. It could be your supervisor, your manager, the owner of a company. It could be a police officer, or it could be the ranking officers in a police department. Like, let's say, those who have stripes, sergeants, lieutenants, captains, people who have authority to get things done. Of course, we could be talking about anybody in politics, because anybody who works in politics, anybody who is definitely in an elected position, or sometimes even an appointed position, has the influence and the power to be able to do some things that people out here in the general public wouldn't be able to do. So some of them go off the rails, off the cuff, and really, really abuse their power. So we're going to talk about that today on the Urban Therapy with Sun show. Now, normally you would be able to call into this show. You're not going to be able to do it today because we're having problems with the system. Blog Talk Radio, they owe me money, man. They owe me money because they taking my money and people are not being able to call into the show. And I don't like it. It happened the week before last, and now it's happening again today. So what up, Stacy White? Thanks for coming on through. I appreciate you and NSG. Guhatari? No. Guharati says, hey. And he says, I'm new to your live. What content do you post? We basically talk about the human experience. So anything dealing with family, dealing with friends, dealing with love, dealing with sex, dealing with jobs, dealing with children, dealing with neighbors, dealing with the line at the grocery store, dealing with the high cost of getting your car fixed or putting gas in it. We talk about that kind of stuff. So we don't paint ourselves into any particular conversation on this show. What we don't do, I don't really cover like current events and stuff like that. But every now and then, if it's pressing like that and it's a good idea, we'll do that too. But What we talk about things that are more cerebral, things that are more psychological. You know, we call it urban therapy with Sun for a reason. So we talk about the things that affect your life that you may not even really think about how they do it on a regular basis, but we get it done. So that's what's going on. And he says, Trader says Matrix is real. Oh yes, it is, absolutely. He says there are real words this are real words in reality. Exactly. They don't want you to be able, like when I hear somebody in here talking about some unalive, that is not a word. Kill is a word. Unalived is not. Self-delete. That's supposed to mean suicide. That's not a word. Self-delete. Before we had, did we even use the word delete before they came out with word processors? Because there was no delete button on a manual typewriter. I remember. Carol Chamberlain, mi favorita. I really always great to see you, Carol Chamberlain. Mi friend, mi favorita. Thanks for coming on through. I appreciate me some you. So yeah, that's what we're talking about today. Taking unfair advantage of position. Shoot, you may have been privy to this whole concept since you were a very small child. Your older brother, older siblings may have abused their little power when y'all were growing up. You know, back in the day, everybody didn't have a TV in their room or their own phone. So your older brother, your older sister may have, said that since they were the oldest, they could say what we were going to watch on the TV, or if they were on the phone and nobody else could use the phone, you had to wait for them to finish using the phone before you could use the phone. They may have been abusing their position, abusing their authority. Well, mommy and daddy left me in charge of everybody. I'm babysitting y'all, and this is the way it's going to go. We're going to lay down the law this way. Like my oldest sister, with the TV back in the day, she wasn't very democratic with it. So that's why I had to watch shows like Star Trek. But somehow I blocked Star Trek out. I didn't like the shit. So I can't tell you anything about any episodes of Star Trek. And I know that I've watched them. All I remember is the one thing in Star Trek that I really liked. I was like, so they can go inside that little capsule and propel themselves to be somewhere else just like that. I said, that would be pretty cool. That I like. Other than that, I still don't see why anybody likes that show or that series. I just don't get it. But, science fiction was never really my thing. But it's all good. The Sunman Receipts. What's going on? Thanks for coming through. And Kenley Warren says they say that so the comment don't get reported, right? What comment? It's standard English. Come on, man. It's standard English. Words like kill, suicide, death, die. What is it? There's some they don't want you to say drugs either. And they don't want you to say abuse. There are a bunch of little words out here that so I've heard on other people's channels, instead of saying sexual abuse, they'll say SA. And you're supposed to know what that means. I'm like, man, this is crazy. This is crazy. But I get it on one level, because if you are doing shows like way bigger channels than this that are getting thousands and thousands, sometimes millions of views, you don't want them to have any reason to be able to stop monetizing your broadcast, because then you're losing, you could be losing hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I get it. But it seems like an abuse of power just to be able to do that. Just to be able to take away somebody's livelihood when you're supposed to have an agreement to pay them, but you're making them speak in a way that's not even standard English, not even any language. You're making them speak that way. And to me, that's abusing power. That's abuse of authority. But we're talking about taking unfair advantage of a position. Taking unfair advantage of a position. The police officer who gives out tickets to women that he's not attracted to, or men, or people of a certain race, creed, color, culture, ethnic background, abusing their authority. People get away with this for years. They do. They get away with it for as long as people will allow them to get away with it without reporting them. And sometimes people are really, 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 really afraid to report people who do this kind of thing. And so it just goes on and on and on and on and on. We see this thing going on with Diddy, with Sean Puffy P. Diddy Combs. You know, Cassie is just one of the artists who didn't come out against him because he has the authority to hurt them financially and, you know, destroy their careers. So they just shut up about it until they didn't have anything to lose anymore. I mean, when you really think about it, you know, he was allowed to just go ahead and abuse his authority and his position for as long as they had something to lose. When they didn't have anything to lose, when they realized, you know, the gravy train, the money trail, or all of that, they weren't going to gain anything from keeping his secrets anymore. Now everything starts to come out. And I'm not saying that they're wrong for it. But what I'm saying is people will allow other people to get away with abusing authority for as long as it sometimes benefits them. So it kind of tells you a little bit of story about them too. Like, perhaps if you were in the same position to be able to put other people at a disadvantage, you might do that or consider it yourself. If you keep it secret, if you keep it a secret from other people who may be being taken advantage of. Let's do this intro. Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. We do this every single Saturday afternoon from 1 p.m. till around 2:30-ish. And the reason that we say 2:30-ish is because sometimes it gets so heated that we just have to do a little OT on a Saturday. And it is a Saturday. This is the show where adults come out and play with other adults. We laugh, we cry, we argue, fuss, and fight, go back and forth with each other, bust it up all crazy. We take an introspective look into our own personality to see the way that the universe projects us into this thing called the world and try to figure out this thing called life. I am your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the and if you can't say Omar with the well, then you just say Omar with the R. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. I'm feeling like a real man should, and I hope y'all feel like real men and women should also. Today, on this Saturday, the 25th of May, we are talking about taking unfair advantage of position. Taking unfair advantage of a position. Your supervisor at work, your manager at work, the lead, the team leader at work, somebody who has an in with those who can put people at an advantage or disadvantage, is taking unfair advantage of their advantages. And that's what we talk about today on the Urban Therapy with Sun show. Now, normally y'all would be able to call into the show. This is a totally interactive show. There is no censorship in this show. You don't have to watch your mouth in my chat. You don't even have to be all that respectful, because I know trolls come through sometimes and they want to express themselves and they want to get some attention and all that kind of shit. I don't really worry about it. You can say whatever you want to say. What you can't do on this show, and pardon me if it seems like I'm taking unfair advantage of my position, but what you can't do on this show is prevent other people from talking to each other on this show, or bully people, or stop people from being able to express themselves freely. That's what we're not having. Other than that, I don't care if you curse. I don't care if you lie. I don't care if you scream, shout, cry. I don't care if you come. I don't care if you go. I don't care if you say that you're lying. I don't care if you say up or you say down. I don't care if you act like a man or you act like a clown with the big nose and the floppy shoes. I don't care if you do what you want to do, if that's what you choose. But when you come to here in this chat, I just want you to let other people do that the same way that you did. And if you do that stuff, then everything will be all right. Nothing be tough. To my man, to my peoples, Emily Dunlap is in the house. Bow! She about to turn it out. And my brother from another mother, Norris Hill. Sit back, relax, do your thing, max and chill. And Dan Barron. Dan Barron, what's going on? Thanks for coming through, y'all. Appreciate you. Appreciate you mucho. Dan Barron says, black taxpayers are audited between 2.9 and 4.7 times more often than non-black taxpayers. And you know that the IRS takes unfair advantage of their position all the time. And nobody can check their books. Nobody can ask them what they're doing. You just have to pretty much have some kind of timeline of how they move the way that they move. Yeah, but they take unfair advantage of everybody. And it's a money game. And where there's money, that's where you're going to find most of the taking advantage or abuse of authority is going to take place. That's where you're going to find it. It ain't hard to tell. Money and sex and money, money and sex and money. That's where you're going to find people doing all kinds of crazy shit, because unfortunately, that's when you start capitalizing and really, really shining a spotlight on the carnal desires of men. Or should I say the carnal desires of man? Because man is very susceptible to their carnal desires, sex and money. If you can get enough money, you can have all of the things that you want, and you have that biggest bargaining chip known to man if you have a bunch of money. So whether it's sex you want, whether it's material items or whatever, that you have enough money, you can get it. So that's where we are with it. Okay. All right. Emily says, what it do-ski, my boo-ski. Oh, and chat fam, even the adopted ones, appreciate you. And Nar says, quoting the Wall Street Trapper, if you allow them to lead, don't be mad when they decide to starve you. Oh, I'm sorry. If you allow them to feed you, don't be mad when they decide to starve you. It gets no realer than that. That's why you my brother from another mother. You know what I mean? Because listen, now that's a quote for that ass. When you allow somebody to be able to totally have autonomy to do one thing, you have to consider that they have the autonomy to do the other thing. All right. And Dan Barron says, P. Diddy is a CA honeypot. CA. I don't know what that means. Cameras in every room. I don't think anyone is going to be attending any of his future freak-offs. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. You know why they will? Because he still has money. That's the reason why people were always around Diddy anyway. He was a good time and he was a check. And with his money, you'll never be able to discourage most of the population from being around those types of people. Whether you talk about Donald Trump, P. Diddy, who else? Who else do you know has had, well, countless people in Hollywood. I mean, but what do you expect from people in show business anyway? Like, what do we really expect? These reality TV shows have come out and have us thinking that these people who live these alternative lifestyles, because people in show business live an alternative lifestyle. They get paid to entertain people. They get paid to pretend. If you're an actor, you pretend for a living. You think you ain't gonna do that off camera? You've gotten good at it. That's your job. You've gotten good at it. You've honed your craft. But we expect them, because we've seen Snoop Dogg and Run from Run DMC and everybody else that have had these reality TV shows. And they set them up in this house that's supposed to be their house. That ain't their fucking house. And they making them look like they live regular lives. Just being around their family getting into regular Brady Bunch situations. Like, get the fuck out of here. I saw Snoop Dogg. I used to watch his show just to see when he was going to smoke some weed. And guess what never happened on his show? He never smoked any weed on his show. And that's when I said, this is more than a fraud. Because he chain smokes weed. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. They got him on this show acting like a regular father. Why ain't his phone going off all the fucking time? Why ain't he across town somewhere, across the country somewhere? Why isn't he taking care of his business ventures? And Snoop, out of all the other rappers, has had way more going on than the average rapper, especially one that started out as a gangster rapper. He rubbing elbows with people like Martha Stewart and shit like that. He's been a hit in everything that he's done. Yet he has time to just be home like on some Ward Cleaver shit. Mentally, they got us because we think that what we see on that TV is real. Even though we've been taught since we were children that it's just a show. But we don't really believe that shit. The internet and having our own cameras and being able to make our own films has made us think like, no, this is actually possible. Snoop should have never had time to be able to do that show, especially in the cinematic style that they decided to tell his reality story. All right. Emily says naturalist. Oh, wait a minute. Who's naturalistic? Where you going? What are you talking about? I don't know. Okay. All right. It's just sand. Says fake gold. Well, we've all heard that one before. You know what? Normally I would address the fake gold thing. But nah, not right now. Tell you what. I'll just tell you this. This fake gold, this so-called fake gold has been in effect since 2007. And I've even gotten my own piece. My name is Sun752. So that means I took time out to get my own piece designed in fake gold. Now that's interesting. All right. Don420 says, Yahshua is the way. That's what's up. We got my Hebrew Israelites coming through. And he says, the truth. God is truth. Do not forget the creator. I'll definitely remember that. All right. Nora says, standing on the top. Standing on the top. On the top, getting down. Yeah. Temptation sing. Ooh. It's a dope song. Don 420 says, yes, mental and spiritual warfare. Without a doubt, misguiding the youth. Yeah. And it's not just the youth. If the parents and the adults, if they don't know any better, how are they going to teach the kids that something isn't real? You got all these parents out here, on TikTok and IG and Facebook, and they twerking and they doing challenge videos and all that old shit. They shaking their ass and they looking for attention and they jockeying for position. How you think the kid, what do you think? Come on, man. What do you think? What do you think the kids are thinking if they see their parents doing the same shit that they telling them not to do or not to excessively do? My brother Ansel Jones is in the house. What's going on, my brother Ansel Jones? And Don 420 says facts. It's like they asleep or programmed. They're both. They were asleep when they were programmed. So the sleep is getting deeper and deeper and deeper. We believe in more fake shit than I ever saw in my life. We used to go to the movies. Now we are the movie. You ever think about that? We used to go to the movies. Now we are the movies. Like, I ain't going to the movies. I watch the movie right there on my phone. This movie that I'm watching on my phone is in the movies, but I ain't got to go there. As a matter of fact, I like the way this movie was shot. I'm going to make this movie tomorrow. And yeah, the stuff they be having in the movies, that shit is not all fake. It'd be real information in there, which is true. In the script, the shit is written by real people. And of course, they're going to put real situations in the movies, but you don't understand. They exaggerate it. But we were supposed to be talking about taking unfair advantage of a position. Well, if you really think about it, movie producers, studio owners, directors, they take unfair advantage of their positions all the time. Well, and think about the way that they choose people to be in a movie. You thinking to yourself, you ever watch a movie and you think to yourself, why would they cast such and such to play this role? First of all, they're not that talented. They don't look like the person, and they're not doing very good in this role. Well, guess what? Somebody thought that they would be great for the role. You know why? Because there was money involved. They knew that such and such had a greater upside as far as popularity than somebody else did, so they got chosen for the part. Fuck the talent. We going for the money. Your talent only matters when the money doesn't. The talent matters when the money doesn't matter. When the money matters, it ain't about your talent. How many asses can you put in them seats? How many asses can you put in them seats? How many tickets you gonna sell? The talent matters when the money don't matter. When the money matters, don't worry about your talent. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Please hit the like button, share the show, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. I'm your host, Sun752, aka Omad with the and we are talking about taking unfair advantage of a position. So when you hear about a Harvey Weinstein or Bill Cosby or somebody else, I'm sorry, y'all, I got my front door open. I'm like, no wonder churches and synagogues and all other holy places, no wonder they cover their windows. You know what I mean? They'll be in there catching the spirit. Next thing you know, be like, they shooting. Like, nah, we gotta keep the concentration right here. MS Doom says, very Arabic face. I have an Arabic face? What the hell? It's bad enough I got people on here coming on here talking about the popular thing, the most common thing. Look, he's wearing eyeliner. I don't wear no goddamn eyeliner. Look, if I close my eyes, y'all see that my eyelids are just dark. I ain't got no goddamn, I mean, now I got an Arabic face. That's a new one. I've never heard that before. He has a very Arabic face. What the hell? What we doing? Don420 says the future is going to be wild. The Neuralink is almost out. Man, listen, it's about to get ugly up out here. You think it's bad? You think it's been bad? They got shit that you never even thought of before. It's like, you know, what I think the iPhone is on 15 now, and the Samsung is on 24. You think they don't? You think they're not gonna be able to do some shit? You think they don't know now what the iPhone 25 is going to look like and be able to do? They can have you do it now. But no, they like, nah, we just gonna piece them off a little bit. Same thing with Samsung. Yeah, the Samsung, 34 is woo. This phone gonna be futuristic. If you think of a phone number in your head or a person in your head, that shit is gonna be able to dial. Shit like that. Care Bear says, yeah, pound Halle Berry. Yeah, you know Halle Berry shouldn't have won that Oscar for that movie. You win an Oscar because Best Actress? I could see supporting actress. Well, she wasn't in a supporting role, so she couldn't be nominated for that. But there's no way she should have won that. But the Academy figured they would get 2 for 1. Let's get these 2 black actors out of the way, since they always bitching about how they don't ever win. So Denzel actually deserved to win because he played the hell out of the role, even though it was for a role that he doesn't commonly do. But that's how you win awards, stepping out of your comfort zone. So if he would have won Best Actor for, let's say, Malcolm X or something like that, it wouldn't have held as much weight as him stepping out of his comfort zone and doing something like Training Day. So I get it, but I don't get the Halle Berry thing. Like, she's not that great of an actress. She's cute, very pretty and all that, but all right. All right. Don 420 says, I don't know if y'all heard about the CERN machine, also a wild project. No, I don't know about that. You can put us on though. Nora says, not only are we in a said movie, we're paying into it with our data. Can I get a word? Man, you ain't never done lied. Yeah, you definitely get a word up for that. We're paying for everything we say is recorded. Everything. You think social media platforms tell you that, well, let me tell y'all something. First of all, one of the reasons that social media platforms don't make you pay to be on there is because they're already getting paid. Your ideas, your images, they own all of that, and you sign it. Before you are allowed to sign up for any social media platform, they make you sign all of this shit that you don't read, and basically you've given up all your intellectual property. So when people steal your memes or repost your shit and all of that, it's like, even the people, first of all, you didn't own it. You thought of it, but you don't own it because you posted it on social media. So they own it. And if it ever really came down to it and you tried to monetize it, they would come in and say, you using our shit. And you're like, no, that's not your shit. That's my shit. Like, you signed it off. That's our shit. Even these videos right here. YouTube don't make us pay to put on these shows. And they even pay you if you get up to a certain number. See, they don't let you monetize your channel until you get 1,000 subscribers. So no matter how many great shows you put on, with you may be doing hundreds or thousands or millions of views. Until you get 1,000 subscribers, they own that. You get none. So they can advertise on your shit, but you can't get paid for it until you have 1,000 subscribers. And then they really start taxing you. So if you actually paid to be on social media, then like putting you in Facebook jail or applying censorship on things that you say and do, they wouldn't be able to do that because you paid for that. That's why I'm hoping that one day Facebook says, you know what? Listen, man, you can have a different account. You can have a different account that you can pay for, a professional account that you actually pay for. 5, 10. I wouldn't give a fuck if it was $20 a month. I would pay it. Because now I can finally say what the fuck I really want to say. And it might be what I really need to say or what needs to be said. But as long as it's free, they like, nope, can't say that, can't say this. And if you say it and I hear it or other people read it, then we're going to suspend your account for 24 hours, 72 hours, a week, 2 weeks, a month, 3 months. Like you keep violating, it keeps going up. And now we're watching every word you say. Pay attention. And so Jones says the Jetson technology is here. We way past the Jetsons. The Jetsons wasn't thinking this far. This is crazy. Oh, Nars, you know about the CERN machine, okay? My man Buana, what's going on? He says, yo, I thought you did 1 a.m. thing. Yeah, on weekdays we are 1 a.m. On weekends we're 1 p.m. So it's going to be one way or another. Get it? One way or another. So on the weekends, like today and tomorrow, 1 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 1 a.m. But thanks, I appreciate you. Thanks for coming through. All right. Nar says, if you're not paying for data, you are the data. Woo! Can we get a word up for that? Can we get a word? Yo, if you're not paying for the data, you are the data. If you're not paying for the data, you are the data. Man, I'm not sure we can get. Yo, that might be I think that might be the quote of the day. Y'all might want to copy that, paste it under your eyelids for today. I'm sure there's a way for you to get it under your eyelids. I mean, they got other ways of injecting you with everything else. Call it a vaccine, goddamn. But yeah. So, getting to the original topic. I mean, and as far as I'm concerned, we are on the original topic because we're talking about taking unfair advantage of a position. Now, we all have seen this, just like I was saying earlier. It may have started when you were very young, when your older siblings or whoever was babysitting you was taking unfair advantage of their position. You know, they may have even put you in a position where you were afraid to tell on them. Have you ever had a babysitter that was doing shit around the house that they ain't had no business doing? Like, you know that your parents told your babysitter, your teenage babysitter, that they couldn't, you know, they didn't want anybody in their house. They couldn't have company while they were babysitting you. And they had their boyfriend or their girlfriends come over. And they may have given you enough ice cream, candy, and cookies or cake or something, some other treat that you wanted. They gave you enough of that for you to keep your mouth shut, taking unfair advantage of their position, abusing authority. Now, if somebody brings a stranger into your house while they're babysitting you, now that's a breach of security. They have been entrusted in the care of you in your house, and you brought somebody else who doesn't know you as a child. They may be they could be an abuser, they could be some kind of assailant. They may steal something out of the house. All kinds of shit could happen that would be hard to explain and harder to explain away. Yet they hit you off with a few Oreos and I don't know, like chocolate or vanilla. So we talk about a Twinkie or some shit like that. And you said, all right, well, you couldn't wait to be babysat again. Yeah, I like when such and such babysitters because they blah, 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 blah. Never even realizing that they're taking unfair advantage of their position. They may be fucking in your parents' house, put you to bed, and then they went to the bed of their own. You never know. But people will abuse their authority, and at a very young age, we may have witnessed it. So whether it was your older brother, your older sister, your cousin, or the neighbor down the street, around the corner, across town, or whatever, they were entrusted with your care, and you may not have even realized that how much they were abusing their authority, even with you. They may have seemed like they were doing something good for you, but they were totally violating the people who were cutting the check for them. And they may have even gotten a tip for it. So they agreed to watch you for $50, and your parents gave them $75 to put you at risk, their belongings at risk, and their total household, and they paid for that. Happens on the lowest level, and sometimes we let it go, or we fail to recognize how it goes, or that it is what it is. And so Jones says, you give blood, sweat, and tears for someone to make a decision. Yeah. And you know how a lot of people really like to see you down on your luck. They like to see you begging, and they like to see you needy. And that gives them a Superman complex. Yeah. You wouldn't have nothing if it wasn't for me. You wouldn't be shit if it wasn't for me. You was out there on your hands and knees searching for a crack, didn't know how to act. You was wild. You was kind of savage out here in these streets. And before you met me, you ain't had nothing to eat. You was skinny, looking like you was about to die, or should I say deleted. You know that I came through and swooped down like I had a cape, and I gave you a couple of dollars and even cake, and I made sure that you got back on your feet and gave somewhere for you to sleep, somewhere that you could eat. And you out here acting all independent. I can't get with that shit. You know I meant it when I said that I was showing my love. I meant for you to show it back, but you didn't. You above the law. Now you ain't the best that I saw before I came through. You ain't had nothing. Nah. Well, it be like that. Sexual favors. I gave you something that you needed. I need to be blown. I need some head. I got $40 for you. Listen, I'm telling you. I got a couple of dollars. Hold up. No. Come down. Hold on. What we got? Oh, yeah. I got thought money. Matter of fact, I got more than thought money. You see this here? You see that? That's $40 right there. That's $40. What you willing to do for this $40, shorty? $40. You know what this is? You know how much weed this will get you? You know how much weed? Listen, got this 40. I might even tip you. Give you 5. Whether it's a little bit of money or a lot of money, people will go ahead and do things in order to have more than what they had, especially if they down on their luck. Especially, you know how much a little bit of money is when you don't have any? You know how rich people seem when you are dirt poor? Do you know how valuable a car is when you have nothing but a bus pass? Or maybe not even that. Like you don't have bus pass money. You ain't got Uber money. You barely got walking money in terms of energy. It's not hard to give the impression that you have it all when somebody else has none. And so a lot of people use their authority to get around people or to be around people who have nothing, because it seems like they are giving their all. Have you ever seen someone or even yourself been so appreciative of a small gesture that somebody did for you, and they didn't even understand why you were so appreciative, or why you heaped so much praise on them, and why you were so thankful? They didn't know, because so many people are out here just to get something from somebody, or put a price on somebody's head, or be able to buy somebody something. What should I say? Be able to buy off somebody. That it seems like even the smallest gesture or the smallest genuine gesture is over the top. What up, King Odie? He said my neck beard is wild. What up, Mr. Tommy Gunn? 1979. He says, yeah, my man. What up? Thanks for coming. That's what's up, man. Appreciate you coming through. I do. All right. What's a neck beard? Neck beard? Let's see. This is a neck, and this is a beard. I don't know. I'm gonna have to either you can explain that one, or I'm gonna have to just eat that. All right. King Odie said, "Hallelujah." Nar says, "There's a difference in showing gratitude and bowing down." Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And Selena, grrr, 169 says, "Someday you will be the urban legend." I think you said that before, and I appreciate you saying that. I think. Is it good to be an urban legend? Because something that's an urban legend is actually not true. It's like Bigfoot. You know what I mean? It's like Yo, if you kill a praying mantis, you could be locked up for that. Not really. It's not really true. No, okay, wait. King Odie says, chin strap, my bad. Okay, chin strap. Yeah, yeah, man. Other people can wear their beards long. Other brothers, they can wear their beards long. My shit don't work. See, at this length, my beard lays down and it acts the way it needs to act. If I start growing it out, my shit gets wild. It's like instead of the hairs laying down the way they supposed to, they start being like, and that's real trap. That's real trap. My shit don't lay down and flow unless it's low. When it starts, if I try to grow my shit out, that shit be looking like, oh, fuck. My hair start doing their own thing. When I had hair, it did the same shit. That's why after my first day of a cut, my shit would be like, all right. I think Odie says you get what you give. Sometimes you might not get enough back from what you gave, and sometimes you might get a little bit more. Naturalista Rap, my peoples. Naturalista Rap, what's going on, ma? Thanks for coming on through. Appreciate you. King Odie says I respect you for taking the trolling well, bro. Listen, man. Listen. Let me tell y'all something about how I really feel about this whole trolling thing. First of all, I believe in people being able to express themselves. That's why I call this show Urban Therapy with Son. I believe in people being able to say what the fuck is on their mind. You might be going through some shit and you don't feel like being a good person today. You might, somebody just might have rubbed you rubbed you the wrong way. Life might have just rubbed you the wrong way. You might be thinking about some shit that happened to you a long time ago that you haven't reconciled. And then you find yourself scrolling through some YouTube shows and you come up with this live. It's Sun 752. You came over here and you see me on here, trying to make people laugh, trying to get a conversation started, busting it up and all of that. And make some people mad. It do. People who hate, they don't like to see nobody else happy. Like, why you get to be happy? Ain't nothing to be happy out here. Shit is crazy out here. And you out here, you over here acting like it's all sweet and all of that in front of a camera and shit. Wearing gold and shit. You know what I mean? Talking shit and shit. They always be wearing gold and talk. Oh, speaking of wearing gold, fuck this. Hold on. You know what I didn't do? Hold on, my people. Hold on. Hey, put your neck out, man. I forgot. Let me put your necklace on you. Come on. Wear the necklace. The struggle beads. Y'all know how we do. Y'all know how we do during the week. Come on. Put your neck out. All right, there you go. There we go. All right, we looking good there. Let me see. Let me show y'all how y'all look. Show you how you look. Okay. All right. Look good to me. Look good. Okay. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Check it out. Look at you. Look nice. You look nice. You look good. Real good. You know what I'm saying? All right. So, yeah. So, you might be having a bad day or whatever, and you come by here, trying to get your shit off. I ain't mad at you. For trying to get your shit off. And sometimes people try to make it personal and all of that kind of shit. And I've seen other people lives or whatever, and they be like, oh, let me get this motherfucker. Yeah, listen, I'm like, as long as you don't fuck the chat up, you can still live here. When I go, now this is just my perspective. I don't expect everybody to take on this perspective. When I go to work, everybody at my job does not act the way I want them to act. In my family, everybody in my family does not act the way I want them to act. When I go to the store, if I go to a show, when I go to the gas station, the supermarket, the laundromat, Anywhere I go, I see people acting in ways and saying things and expressing themselves in ways that I don't agree with. And guess what? I act in many ways that people don't like, don't agree with, don't appreciate. But I do me. So if I insist on doing me, as long as I'm not fucking with nobody else, then I don't have a problem with you doing you, as long as you don't fuck with me and my peoples. And I consider anybody who comes through here to be my peoples. Trolls included. Listen, you could be trolling somebody else. You got bigger channels that's out here you could be trolling. You know what I mean? We got 12 people in here right now, visible. There's more people watching than just the 12, but visibly it looked like it's only 12 people, and you coming through here for individual attention. It's like going to a private school. You know how like in a private school, the class sizes are small, so you get more individual attention. Well, I know you come here because you figure there's not a lot of people in there, so I can go in there and I can fuck shit up and shine a spotlight on myself, and some will actually talk to me, and I did. So everybody's kind of getting what they want. I ain't mad at you. You could have been trolling somewhere else, but you came here to troll me, and I know that's love. We've turned some trolls around in this bitch. They came here to talk shit, and then they got involved in the conversation. Like, old head was talking some real shit. I ain't mad at him. Like, fuck it. Plus, y'all helping me get into the algorithm. So, everybody gets a little something. Get a little something. All right. Yeah, Care Bear says, now we have troll friends. Yeah. And where would I be without that? Joe, what's going on? So I say, yo, what up? What up, my dude? King Odie says I sub. Yo, man. Oh, you subbing? Oh, we got people. Oh, wait a minute now. Hold on. When you come through and you sub. When you come through and you sub. When you come through your sub. Show some love. Come through and sub. You can show some love. I said, come through and shove. Show you a little love, and I appreciate that thing. Yeah, we get fly, and I know that you understand the reason why I put y'all down with my mentality, because we gotta do that shit, and soon you shall see how come we do our thing. Every day is a week, and anytime you turn on this thing, you're going to hear me speak. So it ain't all no days off, just like my life and my living, and you understand what I'm giving to y'all. It's a little bit of words for your encouragement, and make sure you do this shit. I don't want you to discourage when other people come at your neck. As long as you come with some kind of respect, you ain't even really got to respect me that much. Man, I appreciate you subbing. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. All right. Okay, let's go. Yo says, I'm going through some stuff, and I didn't realize I was drained and taken advantage of 4 years of my 8 years relationship. Yeah. Now we're talking about taking unfair advantage of a position, but you know, even in a one-on-one situation, just like a relationship or a marriage or whatever, as much as we would love for two people to feel the same way about each other, to love each other on the same plane, it's not always that way. In a lot of situations, one person loves the other person a little bit more. One person likes the other person a little bit more. There may be pockets of times when you are on the same level, but it may not be that way all the time. So where one person may be stubborn in getting their way, the other person might be a little bit more flexible. So they'll let you have your way because they know that you having your way is more important than them not giving you your way. So sometimes people take unfair advantage of people that way. So you know that your girl loves you to death, and she would go to the ends of the earth for you. So what do? You make her go to the ends of the earth for you all the time. You are taking unfair advantage of your position. You know that somebody wants to be with you more than you probably want to be with them. So what do? You taking her money, you cheating on her, you're disrespecting. You're on the brink of humiliating the person that you supposed to love and that's supposed to love you. Taking unfair advantage of your position. And it happens all the time. That's why motherfuckers be mad at the end of relationships, because they realize how much they have given in that relationship and never received shit and didn't even ask for anything. But this is how it turns out. This is how you gonna do me? Yeah, I mean, come on, shorty. What? Huh? Hold on, hold, chill. Hold on, let me get this shit straight. Hold up. I sacrificed a lot to be with you. This ain't no regular shit. You know what I mean? You know how many bitches I had on my dick before I came around you? You know what I mean? I put all that shit to the side. I shelved all of them projects. I gave you money. I gave you my time. I gave you my heart. I took care of your kids. I put you in my crib. You know, I made sure that you didn't want nothing, didn't need nothing. And that's whether it was money, time, love, everything. I even put your mom up. Her bum ass, she ain't had nowhere to go. She ain't had nowhere to stay. I handled that. And this is the motherfucking thanks I get? Yeah, that's how I can feel at the end of relationships. This is the motherfucking thanks I get for my blood, sweat, and tears? Bitch, I oughta. Chill. And you know many women feel the same way on that flip side. I could have been with any man out here. I done wasted 5 years of my life with you, running behind you, getting you out of jail, coming and bailing you out of situations, making sure that motherfuckers didn't harm you because you don't know how to control your fucking mouth when you drink or you get high or you was behind on your child support. You ain't taking care of your kids. You ain't taking care. You wasn't taking care of the kids you had when I got with you, and you had the fucking nerve. I had the fucking nerve to have kids with you. So I believe that you could do better with the ones you had. I added on another one, and you still fucking up. This the motherfucking thanks I get? Well, I'm shutting down this cookie. It's going to be hard for another nigga to get with me, but it ain't going to be you. I'm done. Oh, bum ass nigga. You ain't even have a belt for those pants that was hanging off your ass. Who got you a belt, huh? Me. You ain't even know what it was like to have a belt or a wallet. Just saying. Joe says, my dad noticed and never said anything to me. I'm really trying to change that. I'm going to go with my dad and he's going to hang out and take care of me today. That's what's up, man. And since you lucky to have your father still in your life. Shit, I wish my dad was here for me to consult with again. I wish he was here to guide me. I wish he was here to advise me. I wish he was here. And he's here, but I can't hear his voice. Right, Pops? So yeah, take advantage of that blessing. Let me tell you something, yo. Sometimes you have to be thankful for the things you have, and sometimes you have to be thankful for the things that you have left. Sometimes you have to be thankful for the things that you have left over. After relationships, we all have to do an inventory. We have to take inventory. What do we have left after we have lost this emotional thing? What do we have left? Because it's easy to put a price on things when things are going well, or to diminish the value of things when things are going well. When things are going bad for you, that's when you really have to start calculating and taking inventory and stock of what you really have. And sometimes you might have to just be thankful for what you have left, because somebody may have taken so much from you. They may have taken so much from you that this is all I got left. So I got a couple of chains, a ring, a bracelet. I got my phone. I might not have nothing else but a bag of clothes. She might have burnt up or cut up the rest of that shit. Sometimes people are mean. Sometimes people are just mean. All right. Yo says being heartbroken and lied to and being faked from an 8-year relationship is really hard. Facts. Nora says thanks for the bees. Yeah, you know how we do. King Odie says like your positivity. We want to maximize that. Word up. Word up. All right. MS Doom says, who's trolling? You're the one wearing a lifelike Afghani villager mask. Okay. My question is, okay, let's say I wanted to be somebody else. You think I would want to be An Afghan? Or anybody, any of the Semitic peoples? Like, that's what I would want? Hmm. Hmm. In the country I come from, white people have everything. Visually, allegedly, politically, socially, economically, educationally. Wouldn't it be better to try to be one of them? I don't know if you know a lot about Afghanistan, but it's not like one of the wealthiest countries in the world. None of those Middle Eastern countries are. So I don't know if you think that all Arabic people, all Semitic peoples, and I say Semitic people, I'm not talking about the Jews. I'm talking about the real Semitic people, the ones that look like Arabs, because they are the real Semitic people. You know, all that, you know, all these Jews out here talking about some anti-Semitism. They not, by definition, they are not the Semitic peoples. Those are Europeans who went to the Semitic lands, set up shop, and took the word Semitic. I don't use it that way. But if I wanted to be somebody else, if I wanted to look like somebody else, you think I would choose to be one of the Semitic peoples? Well, shows what you think I want out of life. So I'm going to have to respectfully tell you to eat a dick. Come on. Open wide. No Diddy. Open wide. No Diddy. Open wide. Diddy. Eat a dick. Because that's what you're looking for. I understand. All right. What's that? White Cliffy? Or was that White Cliff L? Too much jewelry on this dude. Too much jewelry? Okay. Take it off me. You don't like it? Take it off me. Eliminate it. I mean, too much jewelry on this dude. Wear what I want to wear. I do what I want to do. And I know that makes people mad too. I'll do what I want to do. Ain't nobody out, don't nobody out here in this world look like me. You know why? Because I designed me. Not you. Y'all used to regular looking motherfuckers. I'm different. I'm a different looking nigga. I don't know what that means, you know what I mean? But I know that it exists. All right. Let me see. Nora says, let me write that down. Being thankful for what you have left. For what you have left over, whatever. Sometimes that's all we have. That's all we have. And when you dealing with people, you know, sometimes we don't even realize the power that we have. You know, you might have real power of influence over people. And you might not even really realize it because you're in such a funk. You're in such a funk that, you know, you don't think that your worth is anything because you let other people determine your worth. Now, well, that's one thing I've really learned how to do in my life. Nobody determines what my worth is. I determine that. I set my price, not you. So whether you think I wear too much jewelry or that I'm wearing eyeliner or that I look like whatever you think will get me to respond to you, I don't give a fuck about that shit. You know what I mean? I'm 53 years old. You think I got here by worrying about what everybody else thinks about me? You must be fucking crazy. I got this shit. But you have it too. Whatever you have in your life is how you is what you have. But are you using it? If you have some type of influence, some type of authority, are you using it or are you abusing it? Are you using it to help other people get theirs? Or are you using it to take away from everybody so you'll have more than everybody and that makes you feel better? So sometimes those are the questions that you have to ask. Sometimes those are the questions that you have to ask. Oh, Wycliffe says, you do what you do with your welfare money. Well, damn, if welfare is allowing me to have big, long chains, like these chains ain't regular, son. You know what I mean? These just ain't regular. You know, like, let me see. This is my, let me see. Yeah, they longer than my struggle beads. You see that shit? Yeah. So welfare gets me this. Count me in. This is bigger than food stamps. But if I was on welfare, I'd still be better than you. Because if I was on welfare and it allows me to have what I have and be in front of this camera, welfare is the place to be. I know whatever I have more than you. And I don't give a fuck what you have. I don't care if you have a 7-figure salary and estate. You will never have what I have. Because what I have above all is I have peace, and I have confidence, and I have influence. But people listen to what I say because they see the logic in what I'm talking about. Not because they think I'm cute. Well, some people might listen just for that. But they ain't gonna listen but for so long. Well, shit, I'll take that too. Fuck it. Fuck it. Wycliffe says, I'm better than you. No, you're not. If you think you're better than me, then change your profile. Change your symbol. Put a picture of yourself up there. Do that. If you're so confident and you so better than me, show yourself. Because you can see me. I can't see you. So I just have to make up shit about you based on what you write. You just showing me your mind. You're seeing my actual image. I'll bet you $100 that you won't change your profile, because you could go right in your settings right now and put a picture of yourself. I bet you $100 that you won't do it. And I'll have to do it. I'll have to send you the money because I'm saying it in front of everybody. But you ain't gonna do that shit because you a bitch. You're a punk. But even bitches and punks have influence. He said, now there are 10 people watching you. Well, wait till after the show when the real numbers come out. I've never had more than about 40. I think the other day we had 40 people watching me at one time. But guess what happened in the end? It was way more than that. Stacey White says, powerful, but not drunk with power. That's what's up. And that's important too. Like he said, there's only 11 people watching you. And see, I'm glad you said that, because you figure I'm discouraged because it looks like there are only, okay, right now at this very moment, 13 people watching me. Has that stopped me from doing what I'm doing, giving out the information? I wouldn't give a fuck if it was one person in there. Well, guess what? That one person is going to get this whole clip. They're going to get the whole magazine. The whole magazine up in the pistol. You're going to get the whole shit. So whether it's 1 or 1 million, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to be here because I can do that. I know that regardless of how many people are watching, I feel like I have a message and I'm going to spread it. You would never be able to do that. And that's why I know I'm better than you. You would never be able to look at it that way. You think that if you said, look, he's looking for the button that discourages me. He's trying to make me mad. He figured, oh, look, you only got this many people looking at you. You're not important. I was important before I got here. When I turn the camera off, I'm gonna be important again. Okay, Stacy. Okay, wait. Irshad Hussein says allergy. What's up with allergy? And Tanner Show, what up? Thanks for coming through. And Nora says, fuck what you saying. Quality trumps quantity over here. Yo, we gotta get a triangle for that. Oh Lord, that's quality trumps. Quality trumps. Quality trumps. Quality trumps quantity. Remember that. Quality trumps quantity. Remember that. Quality over quantity. You can have a whole lot of people tell you that you the shit and they don't give a fuck about you. Let me ask y'all this. have the records that have sold the most always been the records that you like the most? Have the records that have been #1 records, so you know they had a certain amount of popularity, were they always the records that you like the most? More than likely, the answer is no. You know why the answer is no? Because you may have been able to realize that, like, just because everybody else likes it doesn't mean that I like it. But a majority of people, or a large amount of people, can put a certain worth on ticket sales, record sales, or any other thing that sells. Doesn't mean it's the best. Doesn't mean it's the best. Shit, Michael Jordan is arguably the best basketball player that ever lived. But that's arguable. Because I might say Wilt Chamberlain was better than Michael Jordan. And a lot of people might say, I think you're right. But Michael Jordan has those rings. But it was a different time in a different form of basketball. When Wilt Chamberlain was playing, there were no Air Jordan sneakers or any of that shit. So they were sacrificing their body a whole lot more than the athletes were during Jordan's time. So how those athletes built back in the day got away without tearing their ACLs and all that shit is really amazing. And Wilt Chamberlain was what, like 7'2", 7'2", some shit like that, and he could still shoot 3-pointers. Try to get Shaq to do that. Try to get him to do that. So, all right. White Cliff says stuff means a lot to you. I just said that it don't mean that. You're a dickhead. All right. Kevin says Wycliffe is probably in Utah scratching his butt in the corner. He doing something, man. He seems like the type that's home. Let's see, it's 2:33 in the afternoon over here. He impresses me as the type that probably hasn't washed his ass yet. Probably eating a bowl of cereal, some nasty shit too, like some grape nuts or some shit like that. He probably likes the word nuts too. You know, while his boyfriend is sleeping, he's like, "Yo, I'm looking at this other guy on TV. I hope my boyfriend doesn't wake up and hear me looking." Oh man! All right, good looking out, Ishad. Appreciate you. Holy Roly 88. What up? Thanks for coming through. Crystal Lynn, Dawn Day Chief. What up? He said, "Did you just ask what a record is?" What? So you think he's a little dated? You think he's a little dated, Crystal? You think he might be a little young? You think? He said, "What's a record?" Nora says, "My so-called misspelling is just another thing for you and your kind to steal, recycle, and claim in a couple of years." Word. Crystal says, "A record is anything these days. Something you listen to is a record. A birth of a child is a record." That's what I'm talking about. People got brain power up in here. And she also says, "A statement is a record. What this individual is saying is a record." It's true. It's true. Please make sure y'all hit the like button. Please make sure that y'all share the show. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This is the Urban Therapy with Son show, and we are talking about taking unfair advantage of your position. And it's funny because we haven't really gotten into the cookie cutter stuff of what taking unfair advantage of a position entails. No, I mean, when I thought about the title of this show, I thought, you know, most people were going to talk about either their managers or supervisors or somebody or their employers at work, you know, thinking that they God's gift to finance because they have this position, and or they were going to be talking about how some of these politicians out here stealing money and don't care about the community and all. We haven't talked about any of that shit. We haven't talked about any of that. So, you know, but I guess we see that this thing can expand way higher than just the evidentiary cookie cutter things that we would associate abusing power with. Abuse of power. The cop that could have let you go, like maybe you went through a yellow light, he argued that it was a red light, he gave you a ticket for that shit. Or you ever get stopped by a cop for a seatbelt warning? You mean to tell me a state trooper can tell that you didn't have on your seatbelt as you were traveling 75 miles per hour? So he couldn't get you for speeding, but he profiled you, maybe because of your car or whatever. You know, maybe because it was a quota that needed to be filled. But when he brought his, I don't know what that state trooper hat, what kind of hat that is, but it's part of the uniform, right? And those high leather boots, the whole swag. He came up to you saying, "You know why I stopped you this afternoon?" Like, no, officer, I don't believe I was exceeding the speed limit. But yeah, you don't have on your seatbelt. He just told you that he profiled you. He can't even get you for the fucking speeding because you already came to him and said, "I know I wasn't exceeding the speed limit," so you are aware. You had the self-awareness to know that you shouldn't have been pulled over. But so he went for the, maybe he looked in your window, and like I got stopped by a state trooper before, and he told me that the reason he stopped me is because he could tell that my inspection stickers were expired. Is like, I know you have the speed gun. Y'all got an inspection gun too? You know what he ultimately gave me a ticket for? Driving on a suspended license. I mean, I was dirty. But I wasn't dirty in the way he said the inspection stickers. That's what he said. I wasn't ready. All right. Okay. Joe says, it is a good idea not to be friends on Facebook with the person I had for 8 years. Their friends are mutual, and our relationship was pretty private, but I kept scrolling on here. I mean, on their post, and I should. I don't know. I don't know how healthy that is. And Crystal says, White Cliff, okay. White Cliff, you have watched Teletubbies. How terrible. Someone takes a children's show and makes a controversy out of the show characters. I don't know. I don't like Teletubbies. It's a weird. I don't know. I think a children's show should at least have characters on there that talk. Children have to be able to communicate. But anyway, yeah, there are a lot of different ways to abuse your authority or to take unfair advantage of a position. There are a lot of ways to do this, and we see it every day. Sometimes just the person behind the cash register when we're buying something. If they're stealing money, they might overcharge you for something. How many of y'all, like when y'all go to the grocery store or the supermarket, whatever you call it in your region of the country, How many of y'all look at your receipts when after they ring up your sale when you go to buy food? I do. I check the receipt every single time. I don't leave until I finish checking the receipt. And one of the reasons why I do this is not because the cashier is trying to cheat me, but sometimes they're not paying attention. And so I only eat seeded grapes. Seedless, I don't eat any seedless produce. I don't eat seedless watermelon or grapes or oranges or any of that shit. Nothing seedless. But I know that the price for the seeded grapes are different from the seedless grapes. It might only be 50 cents. But when you're talking about the amount of grapes that I'll buy, it starts to add up. For example, I usually buy 3 bunches of grapes, and it might come to about 7 pounds. So 7 pounds of grapes at 50 cent, at a 50-cent difference, is going to make a big difference in the price. So many times I had to go back and see that they charged me $3.49 a pound instead of $2.99 a pound. Shit like that. Now, who's to say that they weren't ringing that up so they could have a couple of dollars? Because if you do that with each sale, if you're smart enough to do this, if you're smart enough to overcharge people and good enough at math to know exactly how much you overcharged and how much to make your cash register till be at the end of the night, you come off pretty well. And people know how to do it. Some people know how to do it. Your average cashier may not know how to do it, but the more they do it, they probably start to be able to figure it out. Huh? So I always check my receipts before I leave. And Crystal Lynn says, yes, and bank statements as well need to be checked weekly because they just should. Truth. That's the truth. And let me see. Nora says, it's interesting how some people get humble when massa fires them and then they come at you with the my brother mess as opposed to handing out their behinds. Unfortunately, I'm kind of embroiled in a situation just like that right now. Unfortunately. When I go to the ATM, I'm the dude that stands at the ATM and counts his money. I'm not leaving that ATM. I don't know, I don't trust computers. I don't trust machines. You know, I believe in human error. I also believe in human error in programming. So if I go and I take out $500, I'm counting and make sure that I have $500, not $480. Hopefully I get $520, but no. But I'm making sure that the money is right. Shit. When you're at the ATM, they do so much to make sure that the money is right. Like, you know, nowadays at the ATM, they ask you, you know, how you want your bills. Do you want it all hundreds? Do you want some 50s, some 20s, some 10s, 5s? But this is the way people steal money. Anybody who has embezzled money from a company, they took unfair advantage of their position. And that's why they always get caught. Because once you start getting greedy, first of all, greedy knows no logic. So first, you know, you may have taken a few dollars off the top and nobody noticed. After a while, after a few years of getting away with this shit, now you stealing more money than you probably bringing in, and you honestly believe that you deserve it. Delusions of grandeur. Taking unfair advantage of a position. And people who embezzle money, people who steal money from a company can't take days off. Because you know what happens on those days off? All kinds of money starts popping up because they're not there to steal it anymore. So they're like, wait a minute, we did really good today. What the fuck happened? Oh, Mr. Johnson called out today. He was sick. Mr. Johnson ain't there tomorrow. More money shows up tomorrow. More money shows up until Mr. Johnson gets back. Guess what? They're going to have a conversation with Mr. Johnson when he gets back. That's how it be. That's how it be. All right. Crystal Lynn says, right, movies have been telling us that for years. Watch Aquamarine and Barbie. Okay. And she says, I thought I would add that in there. There are some people who do play victim. Oh, what? Man. Man. Wait. Okay. Ansel Jones says, I had a situation when I got promoted and made rank. The people that said you've changed was never my day ones. Yeah. And let me tell you something else, Ansel. When you move up when your situation changes, you should change. If you are now a captain, you want to still be acting like a corporal? The things that a corporal has to do are different than the things that a captain has to do. It doesn't mean that you've changed in a bad way. You've changed with the necessary position that you have attained. You earned that. So, people always tell you, like they make change sound so bad. And when you have abused change, or you stop letting people get away with the same dumb shit that they've been getting away with for all of these years, just because they think that they should be able to get away with it, that's when the problem starts. That's when we have a really, really serious issue. Listen, you think change is hard, try staying the same. You can't stay the same. How you learn something new and still act the same way as you did when you didn't know? How? You can't. Doesn't work that way. But people don't want you to change because they figure when you change, now they have to change. And they do. And they've been struggling to stay the same. People, like even at a job, people want way more money, but they want to keep the same type of responsibilities. Well, guess what? It don't work that way. It never has worked that way, and it never will work that way. You got to find a different way, because that way ain't working. The math ain't mathing. Okay. Let me see. Okay, wait. Crystal says an individual who calls in for support or assistance is often saw as weak, but there's strength in that as well. There's nothing but strength in that. Why wouldn't you utilize your resources? When you're a manager or whenever you're in a leadership position, you don't do the work. So you have to rely on people who actually do the work in order to get the work done, so you will look like you are capable of supervising or managing. It's not your job to do the manual labor if it's a manual labor position, for example. But you're supposed to make sure that people are motivated, educated, and instructed to do what they're getting paid for. And if you fall down on that job, then they will have somebody replace you. So in order to get that job done, you have to ask or instruct or direct your staff to do what is necessary. And when they make mistakes, you tell them to do what? Ask if they don't know something, if they don't understand something, if they run into a snag or some kind of problems. Don't just accept fucking up. Come to me and tell me you don't know what's happening so we can get you on the right track. before you pull down this whole operation and mess up the money, and then we all get fired. So people like, for example, the president of the United States. The president of the United States doesn't do any work. They meet with people. They sign legislations. They have to read. They have to read things, understand things. They have to ask for help all the time. Whether you're going to Congress, whether you're going to the Senate, whether you're going to the House, you can't do it on your own. You are forced to utilize your resources. And if you're really smart, you'll do it in a bipartisan way. As a politician or any position of authority. And I've had to explain this to subordinates many times on the job, especially when I worked in a union environment. So if I'm managing a union environment, you know, the union often feels like it's the union versus management. The union versus management. The union sticks together and we are against management. And management, as management myself, I pulled a couple of their officers, you know, like foremen and leads and even shop stewards and what am I talking about? The people who are above the shop steward, the union reps. And I said to him, I said, I understand that you're good with your union. Your union will always back you. They'll always protect you. I said, but you realize that your union is really only useful to you when you get in trouble. If you're the type of person who causes trouble on your job. Because if you don't have any holes to dig yourself out of, to climb out of, then you're just paying your union dues month after month after month. Pay to play. I said, wouldn't you do better if you had the union and management on your side? Think about it. If you think that you're a prince with the union, you would be a king if you had the union on your side and management on your side. And neither one of them has to think that either one of them are especially special to you. But it might be to your advantage to make the union think that you are, that they mean everything to you. But yeah, you ask for help. Only strong leaders utilize their resources. Strong leaders ask for help. Strong leaders admit their weaknesses and try to strengthen them. It's the weak who allow their indiscretions and their weaknesses to take them under. Okay, let me see. Let me see here. Let me get this straight. What's happening here? White Cliff, have you crossed over? You was what was it just 5-10 minutes ago? You was trolling the shit out of this show. Now you're part of the conversation. Is it just me? Am I tripping? Is he still tripping and I'm not reading this shit right? Because I could have sworn 5-10 minutes ago, this motherfucker was the antithesis of this whole program. Now he done made friends with Crystal. Now he's like, oh yeah. The fuck yo, say, I don't know. Crystal says, Nars, look at insanity, repeating the same thing over and over and getting the same results and flip that to insanity, repeating the same thing over and over and getting different results. I don't know. Um, I've never accepted that definition as insanity because you can do something over and over and expect a different result. It's called practice. It really is. It's called practice. You keep doing the same thing over and over and over, and you get better at it. You play the lottery. People who play the lottery, that same number over and over and over until one day it comes out. In gambling, everything is, a chance, luck, rolling the dice and craps. You don't know what number is going to roll. You roll the same way every time, expecting that your number will come out. There's a probability that it will. So I understand the concept that they're trying to make when they say insanity is doing something over and over and over the same way and expecting a different result. But no, it's called practice. I'm practicing these free throws the way I was taught to shoot them over and over and over, and guess what happened? Start making the shots. So I'm just saying that to say that there are different ways to flip everything. There is no one way to, there's no just one answer. Let me just put it that way. No, said he's code switching. And he don't have to. I'm not even looking for verification. I see it. If you scroll back up, this man has changed. I ain't mad at him. I'm not mad at him. He changed right here in front of your eyes. Like my man Rakim says. I'm the intelligent, wise. I will rise right in front of your eyes because I am a surprise. So I'ma let my knowledge be born. Anyway, I ain't mad at him. Fuck it. He stuck around for a reason. You could have been anywhere in the world. You came through. I ain't mad at it. We about to do these birthday shout outs. You know what I mean? Get on up out of here. I'm not mad at it. Not mad at it. Crystal says, even the most successful football player and hockey player need practice before a game. Correct. Exactly. Like you do the same thing over and over again, and you expect a different result. The different result is that you'll get better at it. Because as you in sports, especially, if you shoot with the right technique, throw the ball or catch with the right technique, guess what happens after you do it over and over and over? Your muscles adjust to be able to throw better, catch better, whatever it is that you're doing. So you will get a different result after doing it over and over and over. And as you keep doing it over and over and over again, and you're not as strong or as agile as you used to be, guess what happens? Oh, I'm sorry. We went out for a second. You get a different result after you do it longer than your body will respond positively to it. So as you keep doing it the same way over and over and you will get a different result of you not being able to do it as well as you used to. It happens. So I don't know. I think they have to come up with a better definition of insanity because that one ain't working for me. That definition is for people who don't think. I think. And I'll be like, Okay. Let's go. Let's do the birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious May 25th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box, Lisa Yolanda O. Vendois. Ashley Hardiman, she got names for days, turning 58 years old today. And also Ricandre Lawson, turning 54 years old today. And Alicia Peterson, turning 48 years old today. And Lucia Desroches, turning 40 years old today. And Daisy Bandy, turning 30 years old today. And Nerone McIntyre, no relation. But what up, guys? Turning 54 years old today. And also AJ Gregg, my brother AJ Gregg, happy birthday to you. And Chanel Gooden, happy birthday to you. And Marquita Robinson, turning 41 years old today. What up? And my piece from Milwaukee, Walter Big Dub Beeman, happy birthday to you. And Sibylla Abil, turning 37 years old today. And Nessa M. Chavis, turning 59 years old today. And last but not least, my girl who used to live right down the street from me when I was growing up, right down the block, her and her other three sisters. My girl Denise Bird, happy birthday to you, and she's a go-getter. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all, and I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit, and that it goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious May 25th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. I rock out. Rock on it, do the damn, the rock out. Rock on it, do the damn, rock out. Rock on it, do the damn thing, do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen, I say, people gonna abuse their authority because they think that they can do that. You ain't got to bend to that authority, but if you choose to do that, I wouldn't let anybody abuse me, but yeah, you might still be able to use me, but I'm here for you, so I'm not here for abuse. So if you got that shit going on, well, you can lose your shit, lose your life, lose a whole lot of other things. I don't have no, I don't have no, what I'm gonna call, I don't have no dog in the fight, but I'm gonna make sure that I win the fight tonight. Yo, I thank y'all for really coming through on a Saturday. We gonna have a better day tomorrow. I'll say, I hope y'all come through again, and please subscribe to this channel, my friend, and also share, give me a like. Y'all want to do that shit, it's gonna be all right. Everything is gonna be all right, and I believe in what a tangle web we when we choose to deceive. Everything's gonna be okay. So thanks for coming through, y'all. I see y'all tomorrow, eh? All right, man. Yo, this dude really is a dickhead. Yo, he really is a dickhead, man. You gotta love it. He probably already subscribed to the channel. If not, it's gonna come up in his feed. We'll be back here tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for coming through, man. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. All right, y'all. Let me get up out of here. This shit is amazing.